the last conference of the day and actually of the festival. So we are going now to speak about hip-hop cinematography. Why we decided to get into this subject? Because we think there is a specific way and our specific peculiarities about what is an hip-hop shot. So we are going now to welcome our guest and Kwanza. She's going to introduce them now that are great video maker in our scene.
Welcome back everybody, hope you enjoyed the music. Keep up because there's more later, but now let's go to our guest of today. It's number one is Antoine Shire. From his teenage years and throughout his 20s, he has been intimately involved in b-boying culture and as a second-rate dancer and mainly as a videographer. Within various collectives, he filmed battles, portrayed dancers, produced short documentaries. Unexpectedly, this teenager's passion took him to 35 countries, such as Korea, Brazil, Nigeria. He made videos with some of the best dancers in the world and also with hidden talents in places like El Salvador, Qatar, or Sudan. Then we have Daniel Zhu, creative director and co-founder of Stance Elements, a production company immersed in the art of movement. Since its conception in 2014, Stance Elements has partnered with Red Bull, Monster, Olympics, and international tourism bureaus in creating content and managing their social media pages. His content has been featured on Joe Rogan on the front page on Reddit on occasions. Currently, Daniel's excitement in social media is showcasing breaking in the Olympics, which will debut in Paris 2024. And he's graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the USA, a returned Peace Corps volunteer. He has lived in South Korea, Alaska, Mauritania, and Senegal. Miniboj, he is the last speaker of today. He grew up in the small town of Poprad in Slovakia. He has been since he was 6 years old. When he was 14, he got his first computer and he was a break dancer since already 3 years. He started editing videos in 2003 before the YouTube era, so at that time it was all about trying and failing. He has been inspired by little Shao at the beginning, and it was Shao who showed him the tricks to become a professional photographer and videographer in the breaking world and make him believe that it was possible. Today, in the internet era, he's overwhelmed of inspiration and constantly look for people all over the globe who are doing cool things. Welcome to all our speakers.
So our director can
Hello.
send us the conversation and we can go online with our Skype call. So hello everybody.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So Tony, I think you will be the first one.
Hello, okay. Yes, I'm very happy to be here. Sorry, I didn't hear. Maybe there is already one question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly, and we just welcome you.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for getting interested to my work. And I'm very happy to see some familiar faces here. And unfortunately, with the COVID situation, everybody is locked. I've been locked, so it's very nice.
Cool. So you want to tell us your story and your opinion about the subject that we are speaking about?
Yes, I can. It's you told me it's an open debate, so I'm really looking for chatting with the other filmmakers. For us, like me, it started in my small town in back to France in Southwest, and like the inspiration for cinematography and video making came from in a lot of ways. Me at first it came from the group that I later joined, like the crew called Style to Oof, who were cutting videos in a certain way, and I think there was a lot of inspiration from skateboarding as well. And I think from the beginning I was naturally interested to cut videos a little bit like this and to shoot videos a little bit like this. Of course, there is these shots that are very that have been very used by many people, like using the fisheye, using filming usually from low level to showcase the dancer in a certain way. But then the inspiration came from a lot of different ways, like it could be from movies, could be from music videos, commercial. I don't know. The topic is what is a hip hop shot. Me, I don't know if I would, if I'm able to, if I would brand it that way. Like concretely, I did a lot of breaking videos. I don't know if it was like hip hop necessarily, but it wasn't. At first, it was very instinctive, and I guess what we tried, I think, is to. But I think this is the what everybody do now. I think is to also, since we had a good knowledge of the moves, as I was a dancer and my friends were dancers too, we know which move were interesting to catch or even sometimes we were anticipating to, okay, this dancer is entering the stage now, so I must sit on a certain way to catch the best angle of it. So I think a lot of, I guess what people liked in our clips was that we knew the dance, so we tried to capture it in the best way, and I could develop like how in detail, like I think what is hip hop, at least what is from the hip hop dance compared to what like the rest of the filmmakers. I think dance it's good to don't cut too much when there's a set. This is very technical now, but don't cut too much when there's a set. Don't show like a crane shot like from the very top, which is very graphic, but we can't see the moves. So this is one of the type of things that we would bring from the beginning, and that was the usual mistakes when at the very beginning, like back in the 2000s, where broadcasters were broadcasting breakdance, like breaking. They were like shots. You were like, well, like cutaways on the other side of on the other crew. So like there's a dancer dancing and people just cut on the other on the other crew, just someone waiting. So that was Us as a dancer, we say we want to see the dance and just show it. That's fine. Don't need to dance. Yeah, that's a bunch of things to start the discussion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think is exactly the point of start of the discussion, because I think a turning point was when the dancers start to take the camera, because at the beginning, we in Italy, we were influenced a lot by the video of Style D.o.ps, that we call it the Style to Off because we didn't know how to pronounce it, but anyway. And so even sometimes you came over Italy to make videos, people of your crew, so there was a need to see dancing pictured in a certain way, and of course we all get used to some typical shots and kind of angles, included the fish eye. You are right, maybe also skateboarding influenced a lot, and maybe we can go to speak more about what can be a street shot. I don't know, are all inputs, and so we are not going to make the history today. We just want to open a debate, because I think it's the time, since there is people like you, all guys, that you have a career that it started from that, and maybe it's going even over with that. We have more generation now here on the chat. I think is nice to try to understand together, which was also the evolution of how to picture our dance. And another thing that I want to highlight is, like, in the festival, we had the 95 selected movies, and like at least half are about breaking. And and a lot are b-boys or b-girls, maybe the directors. So I think probably people coming from breakdance had a bigger need to create the right frame, because as you said before, we saw dancing not recorded in the proper way, so just people cutting, going to the other crew, and you didn't see the people were finishing their moves, and you don't know what was going on after. You say, no, but now I want to see what is going on. So I think this is something that also we can analyze. So maybe we can give the word to one of the next of our guests, and after we can start to comment everybody what all of us say. Daniel, you wanna be the next?
Yeah, sure. Before I say much, I don't want to say, Tony, Style 12, back in 2004 when I lived in Africa, we didn't have internet. We had like really slow internet cafes there. So I had my friends in the USA download videos from Style 12, burn it onto a CD, not DVD, CD, because they didn't have DVD players in Africa. And I would share it to my friends and be like, hey, look at this dance. Look at this dance. It's all Style 12. Because that's where you could download videos.
Yes, I've heard this type of story from many parts of the world. Even myself, this is where I first got in contact with breaking and with hip-hop dance. And props to Kemp, who is the founder of Style 12, who I think, like he has no idea. He knows like how many people around the world. I've heard this type of story like in India, in El Salvador, in so many places. So that's the pre-internet era, like that. Maybe the young crowd don't know about. But there were a time where there were no internet.
Yeah, but yeah, that's interesting because that was before I learned how to film. So obviously, I would watch videos like Tony's and others, and just like learn like, hey, I like this style, I like this shot, I like this shot. And then, kind of like a lot of hip hop stuff, you sample a little bit and you try to make it your own. And so what makes, a hip hop shot? I mean, it's really wide open nowadays. Obviously it was a lot of it, as Tony said, a lot of it's taken from skateboarding, some of the early stuff, like the low angle, wide, fisheye, some of the movement. I think for dance, one of the things I learned throughout the years is the videographer is always secondary. The first, you always want to have the dancer as the focus. So not many fast cuts because everyone wants to see the dancer. So, it's tempting to hit the edit button a lot of times, but don't. It's a lot of it's just trying to hold it back. But yeah, nowadays for hip hop shot, it's just filmmaking has gotten so widespread, especially when DSLRs got popular in around 2011, and then so a lot of people like myself, we started experimenting. We started learning from other sources. Like a big source of my inspiration is travel videos and travel documentaries from like National Geographic and Discovery Channel, and so I learned from that, and then put to what I learned from filming dance.
Nice. Thank you. And so, I guess we can have the opinion of Miniboj.
Well, yeah, you can.
You are the youngest generation. It's your turn.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, again, Antoine, same shit for me. It was I was watching Style 12, and we had only one internet cafe in my city, and I was traveling there all the time with a floppy disk, and I was downloading this one video for couple of floppy disks. It was crazy. So my in terms of like what is dance videography, well, there is no such a thing, I would say. For me, like what is cool is cool. It's like I try so many things because I also have okay, let's put it this way. I'm mostly editor and I'm doing like visual effects and whatever, but I also film a lot, and I'm around dancers and I also direct whatever. But what I like the most is editing, so also what Daniel said, not fast cuts, whatever. Yeah, that's actually what put me on the map. I start putting so much fast cuts, and just put on the spotlights just those bangers. So I guess that was kind of my style. But yeah, it's with the internet and with the Instagram, when you're scrolling so fast, like the thing is, the whole trend is changing a bit, because you want to put in a spotlight really like dancing, and when it's so hectic, people don't really relate to it anymore. So yeah, the trend is changing like all the time, to be honest. But as I said, what is cool is cool. I always say this: you are the first one. The editor is the first guy who's gonna watch the video. So if you don't like it, then well, most likely not many people will like it also. So you should stick and work on it till you like it. And if you like it, there is still a crowd and people will like it also. But yeah, as guys already said, low angles, and for me, I love wide angles. Even my cameraman and my guys from Grip, they always make fun of me because I would stick only to like super wide angles all the time, and even I put the camera like really close to the face, and not be far, even with the long lens or whatever. I would put like super wide lens into the face of the dancer, if we're doing like close-up shots or whatever, because I just like really wide angles and wide shots, So I guess that's like kind of, let's say, signature stuff or whatever. But yeah, I do a lot of shit, I do visual effects, whatever. I have, like, let's say, a graveyard in my computer where there is like so much stuff that I would probably never release, or I still think I will come back to them, but I will never come back to them, obviously, because it's never time for it. So yeah, my advice would be just do whatever you like. There is no wrong or right. Unless you like it, then do it. If I would be like, I like style 2 videos. I really love Mason Rose. Mason Rose was like really like big input to me. I was like, when I saw his videos, I was like, whoa. That's like something else, Like we are not talking about like some whatever camera movements, slow, like what there was, like you could feel the video, and when I watched this, I was like, oh shit, like this guy knows what he's doing, like he has a style. And then I start looking at the videography as I'm looking at breaking, just do it, and just like do it how you feel it, but like just try to find your own style. That's it, and then you will but that's like in everything in your life. Like do it your way and you will succeed. If you will chasing people all the time, then you are fucked, because you will be always behind. So yeah, no right, no wrong, just do it.
That's right. So we start to have some questions. The first one say, which technical material you would advise to have for who is starting? Whoever can answer, even all the three of you.
Okay, I can answer real quick though. Like nowadays, when you see how far the technology went, you don't really need anymore like really crazy camera or whatever. Like if you have the right idea and you know what you want to do and you know what you want to show, easy use iPhone. It's super easy. Like you have everything in your pocket. You see those TikTok people, they're traveling around the world making TikTok videos for the companies for heavy money, and they're doing on the iPhone. So yeah, I mean, there is use whatever you can, because like what really matters is what you want to show, and that's it, And that's like easiest way how to start. And then if you like it and you think, okay, like that's how I can like express myself, whatever. Okay, then start looking up for the more advanced cameras, you know. But for me personally, for everything fits something different, you know. When it's bigger project, of course we will rent better cameras like Arri, Alexa, or whatever. But if I am doing like run and gun, like small events, and I'm pretty sure I will do just a social cut out of it for Instagram, whatever, I can stick easily with DSLR or mirrorless cameras nowadays, you know. Like I love GH5 because it's super easy, and I already have like thousands of lenses for this. But when I do like documentaries and everything, I use my Blackmagic pocket cinema camera because it has the ProRes 422 codec. So it's very common in the industry. It's pretty much industry standard, and it's really easy to color grade and whatever. The dynamic range is great. So once you love it, then you really like fall into this rabbit hole, and you will start exploring everything. But first, you need to start falling in love with this, and easily just use iPhone. That's what I think.
Thank you. Another question we do have is, you follow all the process from the shooting to the editing, or you give your material to a third person to do the editing? Who wants to answer? Even all the three of you, Daniel.
I can answer a little bit.
Cool.
I think Miniboj will be best at this since he's, I think he's out of us, all of us right now, he's the best editor. It's always, for filming and identifying the subject, you know, it's always, for me, it's always me, you know, like, here, I have an idea, let's film this. And a lot of times I would do the editing because if it's good, I feel good. If it's bad, then I just have myself to blame on. So no pressure to anyone else. Sometimes I would give it my editing to like another person from Stance or another friend, and I'm like, that's not what I thought, imagined in my head. So just to save that trouble, I just do a lot of it myself. Or you work alongside an assistant editor, so you do big projects together.
Yeah, I can jump on this if you want. I think it's something that is growing more and more with our generation, to have people, and it's not only I think in the dance scene, it's I think in general, to have people having their ideas, who are going to shoot it and direct it, and this is the case even in the rest of the industry. I think there's a lot of directors or clip videos, music video editors. Even me now work more in journalism, and this is the case now as well. Like, journalists are going to direct their reports and this type of stuff. And I guess that something which is good, I don't know if my fellows will agree, but it's good. Me, I'm very happy to have learned the tools, and me, I also do animation and this type of stuff, because when you have an idea, you can do it without asking to someone, oh, can you help me to do this? Can you help me to do this animation? I've always been happy to just, okay, I'll just take the thing and I'll try. And I guess the path from the brain to the final result is then in one person, and I guess that creates something. And I guess also I think it creates this is where an art expression is expressed, I think, in this way. But I think there's many ways to do, like there's not one way to make films and videos, and I think working in collective is also amazing, and yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, of course, everything now has a personal touch. And another question we do have is about color grading. So how much you adjust your cinematography in post-production?
A lot. For me, the thing is, at the beginning I was really like hardcore. I was trying like everything look super and natural, let's say, you know, like the sky was supposed to be for me like cyan more towards like turquoise, green, or whatever, you know. And yeah, I was just trying a lot of stuff, you know. And but yeah, like when I look at this today, I'm like, well, that wasn't a really good call. But back then it was like okay, you know. But yeah, to be honest, I really love color grading. I do this a lot, especially like when we were. There is a funny story when we were doing this. If you watch Red Bull BC1, Red Bull BC1 teaser for Poland for Gdańsk for this year, everything was prepared. Like okay, we will. There was like a really huge team working on this thing. And at the end, I was also wanted to have like really this one color grading girl. She's like really dope. She's doing like all the major stuff in my country, you know. So she's really really good. But the thing was, you know, we were running into so many feedback rounds that I was like, you know what, like fuck it, I will color grade it myself, save a headache to everyone. And at the end, it worked out very well, you know, but still, it would be, I think the clip would look much better if I would give it to like a dedicated color grader. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's great to be one-man army also, but working in the team where everyone knows how to do it and what you can expect from each other. It's even better because you can save a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of money also because like when someone is editing, you can also jump and direct and film and come back again. But yeah, I mean, both ways work. But the question was about color grading. So yeah, I color grade a lot. So good luck with it. It's fun.
What about you guys, Daniel or Tony? You want to add something?
No, like the thing is, me, I've not really dig the color grading so much during my filming b-boying career. A little bit, of course, because sometimes you want to adjust. I think I wasn't. In the style I was bringing, that was not the main focus. Of course, I would work on the framing a lot, and sometimes you adjust something. And I wasn't editing as much of it. I think I was working a lot on the video editing, and possibly later on I will talk a bit more about that. But yeah, so on color grading, I'm not the best too. But I think this is very important, and I think it was a mistake for me.
Thank you.
Color grading it's interesting because, like, as Miniboj said, even for me, I would look back at something I made like a year ago and like, why did I make it that color? or like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. It's like sometimes I'm like, okay, you know, so I'm sure if I even work and make a video today, I'll color grade it in a certain way, and next year I'll think, all right, I tried it this way. It's just like a chance to experiment with something new, just like sometimes editing. And like I said, I have so much other stuff to deal with such as, you know, creating storylines, editing, you know, running a social media channel. Coloring it's really it's good to learn at least a little bit. It's really its own separate category. I mean, in a lot of professional shoots here, I live in Los Angeles, and a lot of professional shoots here, you have people working full time as colorists, and that's all they do is just coloring. So it is, even for me, it's something I'm still learning, but it's, you know, it's rapidly growing with the addition of all these new LUTs and, you know, different programs to help color.
Thank you. So, and the next question is about corporate standards. So, like, you all started as independent video maker with the need of shooting dancers, but what does it mean to go ahead and work for big companies that are asking you to make videos for them? So, how much this is constricting you? How much occasion is opening to you? Also, of course, it means work in a bigger team. So you direct, or I don't know, you have a specific D.o.p. and a separated editor, separated colorist. How does it work and what does it mean? Who wants to answer?
Yeah, I can answer real quick though. To be, yes, honestly, yeah, I work for Red Bull a lot, so, but I would say we can consider that that's a big company though, and and yeah, pretty much. I remember Daniel once asked me in Korea, like, I thought you are on a payroll because I work so much for Red Bull, so he thought I'm an employee, you know. But to be, I will tell you this. I'm pretty sure. I'm very fortunate, and I know, and I've been also in other shootings that I wasn't filming. I was doing like BTS or something. Red Bull is kind of company that will let you do what you can do the best. So they trust you 100%, and they will not interrupt, you know, with you and with your ideas, with whatever. Like, okay, at the beginning, if you guys agree on something, on storyboard, on whatever, then they will let you do your job, you know, and they are not interrupting. Okay, they might say, okay, like, well, there is a little bit too much green in the shot or whatever, but that's the maximum that you will get from them. Of course, then at the end, you know, when you have the feedback rounds, if it's like really big project, of course there is feedback rounds till you get to something that everyone likes. You know, it's going through so many people's hands. You know, there is like 20 people in one department that they have to look at this. You know, so it's not just you and your buddy. You know, like having an opinion on video. You know, so of course. Let's say with Red Bull is different. I work with other companies, you know, with some beer companies here and whatever, and it's totally different scenario. You know, it's like they want to have control over everything. They don't trust you. I mean, of course, every company is different, but I just comparing like some of the worst and best case scenarios. And yeah, I had a lady behind my back all the time, and she was like, well, this camera, I don't think like this is the cinema camera and stuff like this, you know. So but with Red Bull, you know, they will even give you the opportunity to rent from their equipment pool. They have like thousands of cameras there, and you can pick whatever you want. So yeah, it's just like there is clients and there is clients, you know. So like for me, I'm very fortunate that working with Red Bull is much fun. It's more like me doing whatever I want and they like it. But with there is other clients that is like they expect something, you know, from you, and if you don't deliver, then they try to do as much. They feedbacking as much as you deliver something. I had people that they showed me exact video and they were like, "We want this." They were, and I was like, "You want this?" Like exactly, yeah. So there was no freedom in creating anything, you know. There was just like copying stuff. So yeah, clients and clients.
Yeah. Daniel, you want to add something from your experience?
Yeah. I also work with different companies. Especially more recently in recent years, you know, breaking is going through the Olympics in 2024, and that has gotten a lot of companies interested. And it's fortunate because, you know, I love seeing, you know, people like us, like Miniboj, like other people in the scene, you know, get these filming jobs because it stays within the community. You know, not like another third party, you know, Hollywood company that has no experience filming dance. And so, with that said, a lot of these companies, they have interests in the culture, but they don't necessarily, you know, have experience managing, you know, the talent or managing the filmmakers for expectations. So like Miniboj says, it depends on each company. You know, Red Bull has, you know, over 20 years experience with at least breaking. And so, you know, they have the producers, the staff that are knowledgeable, you know, of different expectations and demands. And then you have companies that are like, you know, I work with companies that are like very brand new that just jumped in like 2 years ago, and their producers have no knowledge of this. And so you have to like, I think, they are open, but you have to sit down pre-production before you film and just make sure you have all the expectations laid out beforehand, because the worst thing that can happen is you're in the middle of a shoot and your client has different expectations and you have different expectations, and then both of you have different expectations on the budget. And that is when, you know, sometimes it might clash and it might not be good.
Yeah, that's important. And Tony, that you had much more experience maybe also with the reportage when you were more active also in the scene, and you want to say something about that?
Yeah, I'm happy to just throw a few things, even though like as you mentioned, I think during the intro, me, I'm a bit less involved in the scene since a few years, because I explore other things in journalism, but I think I see there is of course, it's always, I think in any fields there is a difference between commissioned work and personal work as an artist or as a filmmaker or as something. So both are very interesting, of course. And I think commissioned work, I've done just a few in the b-boy scene with Red Bull and with other companies. It's already a few years ago, back before 2016. I think it's very interesting. First, because there is money, so sometimes, so of course, this is very interesting. So you can live and pay your rent. It's also interesting because as a creative person, because it gives constraints. Like they're gonna ask you to, okay, can you do a clip about this event? Can you do a clip about this dancer? Or can you do a promo video for? We have this project we want to do. Can you propose us something to translate that into an amazing clip? So it's always a good challenge to reflect and try to find cool ideas to translate that into a clip. And of course, I think personal work, like what I want to say, like self-initiated work, I could say. Me, I've enjoyed, even though it's always harder to sometimes to produce, because usually there is less budget, of course, and also so. But I think it's important. I'm like me. This is sometimes the things that I'm sometimes most curious and because this is where you're gonna see some things from out of nowhere, like with boom, this videographer who did this something totally out of any like scene before. This is how when I did probably the video that I've done, which was the most noticed, is the promo video IB Is Me back in 2010, where we filmed a lot of dancers in point of view back in the days. And this was very self-initiated from us. Like we saw a commercial from Guy Ritchie and we're filming soccer player like that, and we say that would be so cool to have a b-boy version of that. So we just moved I don't know how to say, moved everything to try to make it happen, and then we got support from IB who helped us to finish it. So and it became something. And also I was interested in documentary formats, which I've tried to explore, but it's always hard to. It's all about the story. Then what are the story that matters? And in b-boy scene, there's so many crazy stories that are going on. We hear it every day. And so me, I went a bit off-road to film b-boys in Qatar, film b-boy in Salvador, and tried to craft video. This is also how I learned the job that I do today, where I do documentaries, but not only on dance. And yeah, there's a lot to explore. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's another perspective. And we do have another question that is about fiction. If you ever work on fiction projects?
in the hip hop scene, I've tried to do one fiction project. This clip actually that I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
it was the only experience that I've done, and it was, I think, to be honest, I think fiction is maybe something, maybe that's something filmmakers are digging now, and I don't know about, but I believe personally that fiction form is very powerful to touch people and maybe to touch crowds that are not gonna click on a dance clip but could connect to a fiction story, because there is always an universal, usually an universal struggle in it or something. So I've tried once, but same. I think it's much more complicated, I think, to make fiction films, and probably that's the reason why there's maybe less fiction film in the dance scene. But if my fellows know more about the scene nowadays, so I'll let them.
I haven't tried fiction, at least in the dance scene. I've done fiction, elsewhere, whether it's like small commercial shoots for like travel clients or other companies. And it's a totally different world because you have to create storyboards and you have to tell people to act. And then after doing that for like a couple of projects, I realized, at least for my hip hop filming, I'll stay away from that. It is difficult. Yeah.
I have nothing to add. I don't like fiction. I haven't even seen Star Wars yet, So for me, it's a no-go.
I see. So we have another question that is about there is a movie or some specific videos that inspired you to do this work.
I'll go first. Okay. Like I said, so I started in the dance scene in 2001, and it was through those years that I got a lot of inspiration. I lived in Africa for 3 years, in the Peace Corps, and like I said earlier, D.o.ps was a big inspiration because we had no internet, and we downloaded those clips and we shared it everywhere. So I didn't know if Tony edited some of them or whatever, but those were the clips that really, I saw like Salah trailer and Junior trailer. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I think these ones are from Camp or Tarix or Sylvain as well, which were, and there is some other guys as well like that don't. I think I joined Style. It's the same story as you. I was in the countryside near southwest France in the vineyards, and I was watching Style 2 a bit in the same way. Maybe we have a slightly faster internet, but same. Like I think the first clip that I was hit by, I think IB 2004 in terms of clip and filmmaking was really something from Style 2. Actually, I really remember this one when it comes. Jumped into my mind. There's a lot of videos from, I think the battle Junior versus Benji as well was really something that back in the days, if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really something from the history, and it's there's so many clips from that time that are like legendary. I could mention so many. It's difficult to say.
Thank you. And
I would say I can't really say what exactly, but I know that I was really I think there was one video from Red Bull that was just I think it was about the surfing or something also, and they had this different type of cinematography there used, and it was super, I would say super neat, you could see there was it was some, I think some surfing recap or something, and it was done very differently, it wasn't, the focus wasn't super just about the surfing, but about the whole city vibe and everything. And then, as I said before, also a lot of Mason Rose videos. But I think there was like one video, B-Boy Taipei. Yeah, I think it was B-Boy Taipei or something like this. Some of the recap like this. There is this also like he because he was using like different kind of songs all the time, you know. That was the funny thing, you know. He didn't really like stick to okay, let's use like hip hop songs or whatever, you know. He was like using whatever, like new pop songs, whatever, let's say French touch songs also, you know. So it was like super. I liked very much the music and the whole the image to it. But then when I really like transform into the video effects and everything, I was doing it already. But what really like put me in a loop, it was it is the video from Quicksilver, and it's also like really like one surfing video where I think it's called Wave or something, and I don't really think like you can really like find it today, but they looped. The video was done by looping all the surfers and everything and stretching out. It was like everything, like all those TikTok's effects you can find today on the TikTok. It been done in this video, and it was done I think like 8 years or 9 years ago or something. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that really inspired me, and yeah, at the beginning. But nowadays, it's just a lot of stuff. You know, you just go on Instagram and. You see what you like, you save it, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. Another question is about if you could make some experimentation, what would you like to do for a personal project?
For me, I want to do video in zero gravity.
Wow. You guys?
For me, I love video games. I see a lot of video games people in video, like we have like emojis in like Fortnite and in League of Legends and stuff like that. So I would love to see how we can get dancers into like, you know, CGI'd into these games and like actually like kill some bad guys.
Nice. Actually, there is an experimental project by Omar Fayette that is in our festival that is like kind of Street Fighter with two B-boys. So that's nice. I would recommend you to see it. So, Tony, do you have any wish?
There's many things. I think I would love to experiment more with fiction. And sometimes I watch some Nike commercials and which are fiction stories, and I'm like, wow, that would be so cool to have a B-boy version of that, and to have a lot of budgets to create a crazy, I don't know, bring a bit of story. That would be one thing. I've always wanted as well, but I never could find a playground to do it. But to explore this matrix effect, you know, like when you, and to do that, this sort of. And to do that, you need to bring a lot of camera on set, like 50 or 100, I don't know. And it's a big production. I never got to do it. I think some filmmakers have done it in the B-boy scene, but I think there is a lot of cool things to do. I've always wanted to do that. But the main thing would be to explore more documentary, actually, and to try to tell what I like about this culture and find a ways to make it people to understand it from outside. This is what I tried when in my last project, it's a few years back already, but to try to explain how there is a link, there is a community, and how these dance link up people a lot, and try to find stories so people could understand that, because this is what I really felt when I was there in the culture, is to be able to sometimes travel to one country and directly become friends with people just because of that, and have really nice experiences there, and also maybe tell as well some stories that are a bit less not told by Red Bull or by this type of, or by the battles, this type of stuff. I think there's a lot of, I've been really touched by some personal stories of dancers and who have gone so far for their passion, and I found that very inspiring. And it is told already by people, but I think this is, I would try to do if I could spend all my time on it.
Thank you. And we are almost at the end. We have still a couple of questions. We are perfect on timing. So there is, what does it mean, edit for different platforms?
Headache. It means headache because today you really need to think about how to attract people on Instagram, how to break algorithm on YouTube, and how to attract people on TikTok, you know. So every time you do one clip, let's say you work on bigger production, so you have the clip for YouTube, and then you want to get people from Instagram to click and go to YouTube, you need to create like super really smart thing for Instagram. And then you need to also, from this one clip, you need to do like at least one viral thing for TikTok, you know. So it gives you a lot of headache, and at the end, it's not really anymore about the art. It's more about the art of being smart, you know, with this. So you need to do your homework and creating, being creative sort of also in this way, you know, being smart on what exactly work on social media. So yeah, it's a lot of work too.
Yeah.
What's the question again?
It's what does it mean editing for different platforms?
Oh, I hate it. Like, it's the unexpected that I really dislike. And I'll give you an example. Like, when I first started in 2008, I was like, okay, YouTube, that's cool, wide. And then all of a sudden Facebook comes along and I'm like, I can't do the same thing for Facebook I did for YouTube. You mean I have to make it like phone? Okay. And then Instagram comes along and you're like, oh, I need to make it even smaller. And then the unexpected happens. So for example, Facebook will say, sorry, someone else uploaded your video clip. This one is not good. We're like, wait, what do you mean someone already uploaded my video clip? I made this clip. And then they're like, well, prove it to me. And I'm like, I don't want to prove it to you. So there's so many times during my life through Facebook, Instagram, where I actually have to do paperwork. Not actually creative, but I have to do paperwork to show that I own this clip or I have the license to this song. And it's such a pain in the ass. And then now, like recently for last 2-3 years, we got into live stream, and that's like something I totally did not think I would get into. And, you know, like it really is like every year there's a new development in social media, and you just have to keep up. You just have to keep up, and unfortunately, it's how it is.
Yeah, and it's super stressing. For sure, it's super stressing. So, Tony, you want to add something?
On this specific question, I haven't been touched too much by this problem. Mostly because, as I said, I do less filmmaking on the b-boy scene, unfortunately, since 2016, 2017. So this is really, I think, when this multi-platform Instagram like raised so much. One solution I could just, if I may throw out something, I don't know, because I'm on the other side in what I do now. I have this problem too, is sometimes to think your project from the beginning in this way and think, okay, how can I make a clip to be watchable from in 16:9 and then in vertical. So if you are smart and you think in your framing at the very first, sometimes you can save yourself some some unsolvable problems. I don't know if this is something useful.
Yeah, it's clear. And actually, the next question is vertical or horizontal shot? Pros and cons.
I prefer horizontal, but obviously you have to have your format, and you have to. If you create one big project, especially if you're working for a client, you have to have it in every format.
Mm-hmm.
So both, but preferably horizontal.
Miniboj, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say the same thing, but it's really you can like you need to really know at the beginning what you're gonna shoot, because recently what we did, we also I was shooting a couple of social stuff in Germany, and they wanted to one specific asset just for TikTok, so we already knew, okay, let's film it like 9:16 instead of 16:9, because then we could easily figure it out framing already, so it was much easier, and like it will save you some time in post-production, whatever, but what can you do with this footage instead of putting it on TikTok or in IG Reels or IG Stories, like nothing. You can throw it into the trash because it looks weird, So
That's
yeah,
right.
to me it's the same thing what Daniel said. Definitely 16:9 all the way, And film it in a 4K or 8K, whatever, and then you can crop it however you want, Nowadays, it's very accessible. All those cameras that they can, like, let's say 99% of the cameras can film 4K already, So, yeah, let's film 4K. It's much easier now. Just buy a hard drive, If you need that space, it's always cheaper to have more hard drives than client will come to you and they will say, okay, where is my stuff? Do you have some rough stuff from this, raw stuff from this? And we can maybe do some other cuts and I will pay you. And you will be, well, I didn't have space back then, so I deleted. So it's better to film 4K, buy hard drives and save it, for later.
Yeah.
Same for me. I cannot add too much. I prefer 16:9 or even wider, like cinematic. It's very interesting. Make it give a specific look. I think it's. I don't know the science behind, but I think it's more. It's just like in the cinema, and we have two eyes. I think it's this format is much. It's easier for the human being to watch videos, but I don't know. So I prefer that. But now the thing is the use. I think leads, and if people are in many, and this is not only in the dance scene, in the media, I have also this issue. Is like if people watch vertical, well, you have to do it vertical. So yeah, like the use of the users, of the crowd or the audience, direct, and sometimes you have to. You don't have the choice.
Yeah, sometimes it's just. Trying to force the market too, because I think it's also like all about the 3D movies, It's something that they say, yeah, now is going to be the trend, but at the same time, as you said, like the human eye maybe prefer and adjust more to certain kind of frame because you have more breath, there is more space, you can really enjoy what is happening. They're shooting now movies for Instagram stories. And I don't know what could mean that, but for me, maybe I'm becoming too old. I think it's just stressing to perceive a movie like this. I don't know, this is something with the years we are going to understand. Sometimes maybe it can be just experimentation, and but yeah. So I have a last question that is for Daniel, and they say, how travel documentaries influenced you?
So one of my favorite things to do this entire decade, like meaning for the last 10 years, is to watch Vimeo. I love watching Vimeo, and they do a lot of travel documentaries. And I've been fortunate to have met a lot of these people, in real life, either on the trips that I naturally travel on, or them visiting Los Angeles. It almost is like a mini community itself, apart, just like how hip hop and breaking has its own community. Like travel documentaries, filmmakers have their own mini community. And my favorite thing is to hear what inspires them. I always ask, why did you choose this subject? Why did you choose this subject? Because it's curious, because a lot of stuff, a lot of them, they don't make documentaries for money. They do it for, they want to show people what they see when they travel. And so, because once you know, what motivates people to film and to work all those hours and days on editing, then you're like, okay, that's really important to them. I want to find something like that for me. And so when I make documentaries, when I actually spend the time to actually make something, a good documentary, I think, what is something that is meaningful to me that in my travels that I have learned that I want to share to people. I don't care if I win an award. I don't care if I do anything. I just want to share the message out to the world, even if it just reaches one person. And maybe, along the way, we learn some film tricks that other people have learned along the way too. We share. And fortunately, as you know, I run Stance. There's 2 people in Stance that are non-breakers, but I have met along the way that are travel videographers. And they're just they saw what I'd done. They're like, I love breaking. When are you coming? Can I come next? I want to film this with you guys. And it's it makes me feel good of sharing them my world too.
Thank you. So guys, if you have something to add, you want to close this conference, you have something else you want to say to our public? Anyway, it was a complicated subject to speak about. Sometimes.
I'll have something to say. I think a lot of what I've done, I didn't go to school for video. I just learned how to film. My first camera was a point and shoot Sony camera that switched to video mode back in 2004. Just trial and error. Keep filming, keep making bad videos, mess up, try the next one, make sure it's better, and keep experimenting. And as long as it's good for you, that's all that really matters. And then just keep doing it. And then eventually, you'll get good. That's really just how I learned.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really want to jump on that. And I want to add a little thing to that. I buy everything you said. Same. I started really just, I had no expectations. And I just did it because I loved it. And I couldn't expect that I would be able to travel the world for that. So I think it's good to, try, make your thing, publish it, finish projects, and show it to the world. And who knows, maybe people will like it. And the thing that I want to add is also, me, I wasn't very good at school. And the more I go in my career, I realize that sometimes to sell your ideas, you need to be able to express them and to write it on paper very carefully. So, and maybe it's something with French as well. French language is complicated. And since I was bad at school, it was sometimes hard for me to, especially when you have to talk with brands, you need to pitch your ideas and you need to write them so people can understand it. So don't forget that and make your homeworks also at school, I would suggest. It's a bit of boring advice, I would say, but it's really like the language, either it's English, French, whatever language, it will help you to express your ideas to someone. Strange advice, I confess.
Thank you. I think... Yeah, please go.
Yeah, I would add also back in 2015, I already told that every spot is taken, and there was also Stans, Yak Films, Mason, Lamin was doing his job for Red Bull, whatever, and I thought I do my things, because I was down with the guys from Legits, you know, since I'm the part of the Legits. Me and MG and MK, we were traveling the world all the time, and all the recaps and everything you see, everything was for free, you know, and I didn't really see myself to be on a position where those guys are, you know. And the thing was, I was just doing my thing, and one day there was the person that he saw my videos and he was like, okay, well, he just started giving me more and more work, and now I'm full time. You know, I like since 2016, I had no day off, not even fucking Christmas. You know, so it's just like you need to believe in yourself and do your stuff. You know, that's what Daniel said. You know, just do it, trial and error all the time, and that's it. And exactly what Antoine said, you know, you'll never know when you will have to need the school, you know, so just be nice, you know, be nice to people. That's the best advice I can give you, you know, because nobody likes, no client will like dickheads, you know, so just be nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I think all these are super important advice and are completely in line with the target of the festival, because exactly yesterday we did a conference about how to pitch a movie. Like we, all the HiphopCinefest staff, we work in this company that we founded that is called Babulka, and we produced hip-hop documentaries, and of course it's because of me, it's my fault. But anyway, we work in cinema in different levels. And I really believe that we need to give more and more space to all the videographers like you and to all the future generation. That's why we founded the festival, because I think we need to dig to find the next Miniboj that is coming and the next generation. It's so important to keep the knowledge, to share the knowledge, and to help the community even to grow, to go to another level, to other level of production, and to have the chance of experiment. So what we will try to do is to create the maximum connection as possible between the people, and who knows for the future what can come. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us, and hopefully are going to be more chance to be together and debate, and I hope this is going to be a small testify that we are going to live on internet and maybe inspire some other people to get into this job. And now we have 1 hour of pause with a little bit of music before getting to the finals of this edition about fiction, feature and fiction shorts and music videos.
Thank you so much to all the special guests. Please share this live, this video will
Thank you very much.
on the YouTube so you can spread it around to educate the next generation. And now we're ready to dance with DJ Jobson, which will be our last DJ for this edition and for this day. But we're ready to come back in this and stronger in the next year. So DJ Jobson, he's been on tour in 2019 with Portavoz through G13 Music International platform of artists located in Barcelona. Comes to play on the island of Ibiza at the Zoo Project Party, a global bass music DJ set which does not go unnoticed due to its style unique in the transitions with turntable techniques, a lot of pop play and effects, and he's always in the constant search for good sound. All music is used to create, mix, and connect with ourselves. For this reason, in his DJ set, he always proposed a good trip to make this a special and spatial moment too. So let's go for this trip, and please come back at 9:15 so we will announce the last winners for this edition.